Hello, I am Megan Harrell, and I am your coach for this challenge group. And in the past, we have done live calls where I have taught about meal planning and walked you through meal planning. But with this being such a busy month, I thought this might be a good time to create a video where you can watch it at your own time and your own convenience. So I'd love to hear some feedback on if this has helped you. We are heading into the weekend. Our group officially starts on Monday. We've spent the week kind of prepping and preparing and getting ready, talking about what programs we're going to do, talking about our whys, our goals. But right now, what we're about to discuss, in my opinion, is the most important part of this challenge group: meal planning. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this call and this video, Meal Planning 101, and I hope that it helps to set you up for success because we are headed into the weekend, and this is a great time to get that meal planning and prep and everything ready so you're ready to start strong on Monday. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. So why meal plan? I get the question a lot. Why meal plan? Why can't I just think about it or know or have it in my head what I'm going to plan? Because if you plan now and you prep now, you're going to save time later. It does take initially a lot of time to learn how to meal plan. My first time I sat down to meal plan using the containers, and I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, it took me about 2 hours to sit down and figure out my plan. Now it takes me 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes even less than that. So once you learn the system, it doesn't take any time. But do be prepared to know that it is going to take a little bit of time initially that first time. But it's going to save you so much time throughout the week having this plan and having your food prepared and ready to go. And if you're like me, we have busy weeks every week. So this is such a huge key into eating healthy. Reduce the urge to cheat when you have a plan. I can't tell you the times that I have not had a plan and I've thought, oh, I don't feel like thinking about what we're going to have for dinner. I don't feel like looking in the pantry to see what we have. Let's just order a pizza, or can you just stop on your way home and pick us up dinner? That's what happens when you don't have a plan. That's why it is so important to know ahead of time what you're going to eat if you have it in the pantry. You save money on groceries and less eating out. I have heard so many times that I can't eat clean and healthy because it's so expensive. That is not true. And if you follow a meal plan, it's going to be even less true because you're going to stick to what is on that plan, what is on your grocery list, and you're not going to be buying all that extra stuff. I can't tell you before I started Beachbody how many times I would just go to the grocery store and get whatever. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a grocery list. I was just throwing things in my cart. Well, that budget went out the window. Now I know exactly what I'm getting and I get nothing that is off that list. And that saves us a lot of money. Helps you stay in track, and it helps you to be an example to your family and to your friends. And yeah, at first you might be that crazy chick that's eating off of the meal plan and does all this prepping, but oh my goodness, you're going to be setting such a good example for your family and your friends. Okay, so before we jump in, don't be scared because I do think it is kind of scary. I do think this is the hardest part for most people. Sure, they can do those workouts. Sure, drinking that Shakeology is easy. But creating a meal plan and sticking to it can be hard. So do not be scared. Let me plug my computer in before it dies on me, guys. Okay, so bullet point number 1 there. You have to do what works for you, but don't be afraid to try new things. If you know that if you know that you don't like broccoli, don't put it on your meal plan just because you need a vegetable. If you're not a person that likes to eat chicken, don't put it on your meal plan. Do what works for you. Look at those food lists and figure out what works for you. But don't be afraid to try new things too. I did not like sweet potatoes until I saw it as a yellow and I knew it was a healthy choice and I knew it was something that would be good for me. So I decided to give it a try. And I tried it a couple times until I found a way that I liked it. And now it's one of my favorite foods. So our taste buds change as we get older. So don't be afraid to try new foods. But also know that you have to do what works for you because you're going to stick with that. Be flexible. There are going to be times when you're going to have a meal plan laid out. You're going to know what you're having for dinner that night, but maybe your husband calls and says, my boss wants to take us out to dinner, or whatever the case may be. Something comes up. Maybe the kids' basketball team is going to be having some kind of a pitch-in. It's okay. Be flexible. It's not the end of the world if you have to go off of your meal plan because something has come up. And that leads into don't expect perfection. You're not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I wish that I was. Earlier, I had a few M&Ms. The world is not going to end. Now, that might mean I need to adjust my schedule a little bit, and I'll talk about that later. But just don't expect to be perfect. We just do the best we can every day. So, some tips for you also before we get started. Save the meal plans you like. I often create a meal plan, and then on a week that I'm busy, I'll come back to that meal plan and reuse it again because I just don't have time to sit down and come up with a meal plan. Or I save my meal plan, and the next week, I'll just switch a few things in it. So save those meal plans that you like. Maybe take a picture of it. If you keep it on your computer, save it, whatever it might be. That way you can use those if you're in a time crunch, or go back to them, or just modify them. Your prep storage containers don't have to be perfect, but they have to sell. If you don't have the 21-day fixed portion control containers, that's okay. If you don't have these expensive whatever containers to take your soup in, that's okay. As long as they work, it's okay. You don't have to have pretty, beautiful things like you see on Instagram. It just has to work. The 80-20 rule applies because who can be 100% when the world has pizza to eat, right? So if every week on Friday nights your family has pizza and a movie, that's okay. You can make your meal plan fit to that. If every Friday night you go with your husband out for Mexican and you have a margarita, that's okay. Just adjust your meal plan to fit to that. For me, one night a week, I have what I call my treat meal. And that is how I stay on track because I allow myself to follow the 80-20 rule. Okay, so why is nutrition so important? Why am I doing an entire call on this topic? Because 80% of your results come from what you put in your body. 80% of your results are going to come from what you put in your body during this group. 80%. I want to make sure you know that. 80%. Control what you can control. Shakeology, once a day. You need to drink your Shakeology once a day. If you have a horrible day, and I'll have clients that will message me and say, oh, I did not follow my meal plan. It's been a horrible day. Well, did you have your Shakeology? Not yet. Then drink it because that is one thing that you can control. It is the easiest thing for you to do for your health, to drink that Shakeology every single day. It takes you 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It takes you 1 minute to make, and you're fueling your body with these foods that make you feel amazing. And I don't want to compare it to prescription, but it goes along the same lines. I mean, it's not a medicine or anything like that, but when your doctor says, hey, you're sick, you need to take this medicine every single day, you don't skip a day just because you don't feel like taking it. Same thing with your Shakeology. You're trying to live a healthy lifestyle. You need to drink your Shakeology every single day, not skip it on the weekends, not skip it because you're busy. Every single day, drink that Shakeology, and you will truly then feel the benefits of it. I know when I started, I was skipping days. I wasn't drinking it on the weekends. But then when I started drinking it every day, that's when I noticed that change. So make sure you're drinking it every day. Fitness is important, but you can completely derail yourself if you're rewarding fitness with bad food. I've had friends that I've heard say, I work out so I can eat whatever I want. That doesn't work. You cannot eat whatever you want. You can't work out to eat whatever you want. It's not a mindset that you should have. It doesn't work that way. If you eat whatever you want and work out so that you can eat whatever you want, you're not going to have results. It's just not going to happen. You have to, again, 80% of your results come from the food that you're eating. Okay. So we're going to go over here in the next couple of minutes, your 7 meal planning steps. And you can kind of look at them right here. Here are the steps, but I'm going to break them down into slides to help you to make sure that you're meal planning correctly. And also note down here, it says I'm going to be using the 21-day fixate plan. So that's what I will be doing this month. That's what I always typically do. All right, number 1, determine your calorie category. So you need to know, and you can see right here, what plan that you are going to be following, plan A, B, C, or D. And then you also need to know about the containers and what they equal. So I am going to get off of this slideshow, hopefully, here for just a second. There we go. So that I can show you where you're going to find this and figure this out. So if you go to Beachbody On Demand, and let's say, sorry, all those messages are popping up. Let's say you're going to do 21-day fix this month. You pull up 21-day fix, and hopefully this computer doesn't go too slow for me. You pull up 21-day fix, you go to program materials. By the way, here is where you will find your workout calendar that you need to print off. Nutrition. You're going to find your food list and your eating plan right here. I'm going to open up the eating plan. Your food list is what lists the different foods that you can have in each container. All right, here is your eating plan. Back in the days when we got DVDs, this is the little book that came in your eating plan. Scroll down. Okay, so right here is where you go to find out what container is right for you. And that is in every program. So you need to go into the program that you're doing. Most Beachbody programs, from the time 21-day fix came out after, all of those programs follow the container system. But they have different containers that you're allowed to have for each program. So you need to go into the program you're doing and follow the container amounts it tells you to have. Now, if you're doing a program like TurboFire that doesn't follow the container systems, but you really want to follow the container systems, talk to your coach, talk to me, or maybe if you're in this group and you have a different coach, talk to your coach so that they can help you with what container program to follow along with that program. Okay, let's go back here now. Okay, so you're going to determine your calorie category, what plan you're going to be on, A, B, C, or D. Let me make this big again. There we go. Find a format that you like, number 2. You can go to Pinterest, you can Google 21-day fix, meal plan, whatever it might be. I can give you some samples. I think I have some of these that I could give you if you wanted to print them off. You can find some cute little meal planners up here, whatever you like, whatever works for you. I do mine on the refrigerator. I have a big magnet chart that I hang on the refrigerator, and I put our meal plan on that. That way everybody can see it. That way the girls know what we're having for dinner that night. That way I'm not asked a million times. That way my husband knows what we're having for dinner that night. That way we're all just on the same card, the same page on what's going to be happening as far as meals for that week. So find a format that you like and works for you. I also will often put them on an Excel sheet or some kind of a sheet on the computer, but that's because I like to share it with my meal plans with other people. Okay, know what to eat and how to count it. Here is your food list, and I also showed you where you can go to Beachbody On Demand and get a copy of this too. This shows what foods you can have in each container. And note, and it will tell you, you'll see this, but not everything fits into a container. So for example, chicken, like if you have a chicken breast, that you're not going to shove as much of that into the right container as you can. It will just tell you can have one chicken breast. One thing I know is eggs, because I eat eggs all the time. Well, you're not going to crack as many eggs as you can into the right container. 2 eggs equal 1 red container. So some of the things like cheese, you see how much you can fit into the blue container. Like veggies, you see how much lettuce will fit into the green container. Some you do use those containers to put in there. Others, you just have to look and see what it tells you to do. Again, use your program materials to help you. They all have the food list that you can look at. All right. Tip 4, where to start. Where do you go? Where do you look for recipes? Where do you look for foods that you can have? Well, for me, I like to go to the blog, Beachbody blog, and you can just Google Beachbody blog. I like to use the Fixate cookbook. That is my favorite resource to use because the Fixate cookbook, if you don't have it, shows you, which it's Autumn created it, and it shows you with each recipe, like this dinner recipe is a red, a green, and a yellow. So it really lays that out for you. The Skinny Taste website or cookbook is really good. Pinterest. I can't tell you how often I go to Pinterest because a lot of times you will also find things on Pinterest that will show you the containers, the portions that go with it. Just double check those because sometimes they might be a little off. Google, you can Google 21 Day Fix Foods, Clean Eating, Fixate. I also have a website, CoachMeganHarrell.com, and I have recipes on there. I don't have the fixed containers next to them, but they are all clean recipes that you could probably figure out what fixed containers go with them. And also the files in our Challenge Tracker app. Let me show you that. Exit this full screen again and show you how to get to that. So here is our Challenge Tracker portal. This is our group right now. If you go to Files, I've uploaded files there. There we go. And you will see right here, oh, this one came twice, recipes. So you can go to the recipes and find recipes there. Also know that on my CoachMeganHarrell.com website, I have sample meal plans. And I'll also put some in this group, but there's some already there if you want to check those out. Okay, make this big again. Okay, and now we plan it. And this, so you know, you have your meal planning template you're going to use. You've got your book laying out where you are going to pull your recipes from. You're going to know how many containers you can have. Now is where we sit down with a meal plan and we plan it. And this is where it all starts to come together. But this is also where people start freaking out. So don't do that. It's okay. And it might not be perfect the first time. That's okay. We'll get better as we go. Okay, so where do we start? I am not going to sit here and plan a plan out for you, but I'm going to tell you and go through it with you as if we were. The first thing I do is, when do you want to drink your Shakeology? Do you want to drink it for breakfast? Do you want to drink it as a snack? That's one meal plan already. Boom, it's done. So right now, while you're watching this video, if you want to plan and you want to push pause and wait and do that and then go back and we'll go on number 2 and then number 3, you can. You can pause this video as much as you can, but if you're wanting to go ahead and start meal planning, this is where I would start pausing and listening and then doing this with me. So write down your Shakeology. One meal plan, best thing about Shakeology, takes care of one meal. You don't have to plan. So if you're having it for breakfast, you go right ahead on your meal plan and you write it under breakfast every single time. Okay, next thing that I plan is breakfast and lunch. Do you want to have the same breakfast? So if you're not having Shakeology for your breakfast, more than likely you're probably all having Shakeology for your breakfast. So lunch, do you want to have the same lunch every day or do you want to switch it up? For me, I have the same lunch every day, the same week. So last week I had soup every day for lunch. This week I haven't meal planned yet, but let's say I'll have a salad every day. But that keeps it a lot easier for me with prepping. And it also keeps it a lot easier for me with meal planning. So you can push pause right now if you want, and you can go find a recipe that you would like to have for lunch. Maybe a salad. I have a really good salad on my blog on CoachMeganHarrell.com. A really good Mexican salad that I love to recommend as a salad because you can also warm it up, which is good this time of the year. So you can push pause if you want right now, and then I want you to figure out what you're going to have for lunch every single day this week. I recommend making it the same, but that is totally up to you. So go ahead and write in if you're having a salad all day, and write down what those containers amount are too, so that you know. All right, select your dinners. That's next. You're going to figure out what you're going to have for dinner. This is where I also have my family calendar sitting out too whenever I'm meal planning, because I want to know what's going on every night of the week. Are we going to be at home that night? I even pull up the weather app on my phone. Is it going to be warm where I can grill out? Is it going to be a night where we're not even all going to be home at the same time and we have practices? Because if it's going to be that kind of night, it's going to be something I'm going to throw in the crock pot. So I like to know what our evenings look like for that week whenever I sit down to meal plan, because that will help me to know how much time I had to cook. Maybe it's a night where we have nothing that night and it's a Saturday. So I might have some more time to make something a little more fancy and really have fun or try something new. But just know what your calendar looks like. And how often do you want to cook outside of prep day? A lot of times I can prep most of my food on prep day so that dinners are just super easy to just throw together. Sometimes I don't mind doing the cooking that night. So think about that. And do you want leftovers? Think about that when you're planning. A lot of times I'll have dinner and I'll know that I'll be making enough for a leftover for the next day. So I might take my chicken dinner that was in the crock pot and have a salad with it the next day. And just because you wrote down you were going to have the Mexican salad doesn't mean you can't switch that up too. Maybe that day you don't feel like having the Mexican salad and you want a chicken salad. So as long as you stay within those portion control containers, you are absolutely fine. After I do my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner is when I go back and I add my 2 snacks. And the way I do this is I look at what containers I have left. So, for example, I had a red Shakeology. For lunch, I had a salad and maybe I had a fruit with it. So I know I have like 2 greens and a red container and maybe a yellow, whatever it might be. And then dinner, I'll write down all my containers for that. And then I go back and I look what I have left over. So let's say for that day, maybe I have a purple and a green and a blue left over. So maybe for my morning snack, I'm going to have an apple for that purple and some peanut butter to go with it. Maybe that afternoon, I'm going to have some hummus and some carrots. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as you can when it comes to those snacks. That is the hardest part, is figuring out this part of the plan. This is the part that's going to take you probably 2 hours your first time to do. But know that it gets easier. I have in my head exactly how many containers I get each day. So I can whip that out as easy and as fast as can be. So know that it gets easier. And know if right now you're struggling with this section, you can reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. And I love helping with the food and the meal planning. So reach out if you need help. All right, let's go on. All right, so let's do this. Let's do those meal plans right now. If you haven't, I want you to stop this video and create your meal plan right now. Okay, so after you do your meal plan, then you are going to work through it and make a grocery list. I want to share with you something that my husband and I use, and he's actually the one that found it, that we love. And I don't know if you can see this or not, probably not. I'll share it in our group. It's called List Ease. And all I have to do is click on this app on my phone and I create a grocery list, and it has it as a list format and it categorizes it for me. It says here, like, these are your fruits and veggies. This is your dairy. This is your meat. It categorizes everything for me. Best part about this app is my husband has it connected on his phone. So we have this same app and we're connected on our phones. So maybe I need some extra things at night. I can create this list and it goes to him. Maybe he's going to do the grocery shopping for me that week. I create the list. It's automatically on his phone. So we really like this, and it just makes it easy to grocery shop. You just check it whenever you're grocery shopping, so you don't have to have a pencil and a paper trying to cross it off. You just check that you got it while you're in the grocery store. Also, it has a scanning feature, so if you already have that in your cabinet, you can just, like my Quest bars, I can just scan them and it'll add that to my grocery list. So just a little tip if it's something that you will want to use, but use some sort of a template to categorize your groceries for the grocery cart. Add up the quantities as you go. 1 onion, 2 tomatoes. When you're going through your grocery list or through your meal plan, you're going to want to look, oh, I need an onion for this. Write that down on your, and I know this seems simple, but this makes it a lot easier. And stock your pantry with things from the Fix8 guide. That way you have them there. All right. Let's go. And you can kind of look over these at the store, stick to your list, take the shortcuts, always shop the perimeter of the store, the outside, stay out of those aisles. That's where the junk and the processed stuff is. Stay out of the aisles. The fewer ingredients, the better on the back of the box. These are just some tips for at the store. Go organic, and again, stay on the outside of the store. Here is a template like that you could use for your grocery list. Dairy, canned goods, fruits, veggies. Again, I use my app because it does it for me. All right, so we have made our meal plan. We have done our grocery shopping, and now we are going to prep our food. For me, meal prep can take 2 to 3 hours sometimes. But you know what? That 2 to 3 hours saves me hours and hours and hours during the week. And I like to do, bullet point number 1 here, I like to do a crock pot meal on Sunday so I can throw it together before I prep for the week. So a lot of times on Sunday night, we might have a soup, and I'll make enough to where we also both have soups that we can take for our lunch, or my husband can take and I can eat at home. So on Sunday, I like to do a big crock pot meal or a big pot of chili or something like that that we can have and eat on for our lunch all week. Systematically start prepping, so start looking through that list. Chop your veggies, use in multiple recipes. That saves you so much time and so much dishes like during the week, so that you're not dirtying all those dishes and have all that stuff to do during the week. Do it all in one day and get it done. So chop those veggies and fruits too. I do both. And leave the easiest stuff like portioning the almonds to others while you're cooking. Like my girls love doing that type of stuff. Hey, can you count out 20 almonds for mommy and put it in this baggie? Or just the easy stuff others can do. And it gets easier and you'll figure out how it works for you the best. All right, so I hope this video has helped you with your meal planning. I know we went kind of quick and it is a process. If you need more help, please reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Don't feel like you're bothering me. I love this. I love doing this and I love helping you with it. So message me. I've been doing this for 5 years now and it comes easy to me now. It did not at the beginning. So I can totally relate if you are struggling with this, but know that I can help you. You can message me on Facebook Messenger. Most of you are my Facebook friends. We have a messenger feature in our Challenge Tracker app where you can message me. You can text me. Here is my phone number, or you can email me. Here is my email. I will say email is the thing that I check the least, or I'm the worst about responding back to. So text is probably the best way to get a hold of me. So I hope you guys that this helped, and I hope that you have a great time meal prepping and meal planning this weekend. If you need any help, let me know. Bye, guys.